So I did a video. Um, I did a video yesterday, and I talked about a dream I had about I was in Walmart. So, well, in the dream, uh, I was got my car to go into Walmart, and people were panicking and running out of the Walmart. It was, like the place was on fire. And but for some reason, I continued. I didn't see a fire, whatever, So I continued to walk toward the building, and I asked somebody, like employee or somebody, like, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody panicking and running out of the building? And she basically said it's a creature in the building, an alien, whatever, or something. And I was like, where? And she was like, back in the back. And so I walked in the building, and for some reason everybody was running out, but I was going in. And I walked all the way back, and I saw the alien. He was the creature. I'm assuming an alien type creature, and it was like Spider-Man. It had climbed up on the wall. So somehow this motherfucker is a very good climber, and it had climbed up onto the wall into the corner, like like a spider, like Spider-Man, right? And it was kind of like up on the wall, and I was like, wow, how does this motherfucker get on the wall like that? You know what I mean? Like, so they can obviously climb really well. They're not human. It was an alien, and so this is what I saw. Like, I've never, funny. I had that dream. I never forgot it, and it was one of those dreams. Like some of my dreams I have to write down or I'll forget them. But this one, to this day, was so vivid. I never forgot the dream. And when I got back, it was like near the. You've ever been in a Walmart? Like toward the back, you'll find like automotive section, shit like that. So I had walked back toward that section, and I saw him, and he had crawled up the wall into the corner. I guess people might have been throwing shit. He was freaked out. They were freaked out. Maybe they were throwing shit at him. I don't know. Um, and he was just trying to like stay out. He panicked and or whatever. And so people were just running out of the store. Everything was pandemonium. And as I got back to where he was at, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck? And I kept, but for some reason I kept walking forward. And when I got within maybe I don't know 20 feet of him, he looked at me, and then then he became aggressive, and he jumped off the wall toward me. And when he hit the ground, I pulled a knife out of my pocket, because generally I always keep a knife on me. So I whipped my knife out, and then I guess we were ready to battle, and then I just woke up. Right? We were ready to fight, and I woke up. But this is what I saw. This is what I never, all these years. I had that dream a few years ago, about 5 years, 4 years ago, something like that, and maybe longer. And I never wrote it down. I never. I wrote the dream down, but I never drew what the alien looked like. And since I was talking about it yesterday, I decided to make a drawing of this alien. I never forgot what he looked like. He was, and I began to talk about it yesterday, but I didn't totally describe him. Um, he was, he had gray skin, very kind of slender, jet black hair, kind of going back, slicked back on his head, something like hair. Huge black eyes, like all black. His eyes were totally black. A very elongated nose, weird, little mouth and ears, and he's a humanoid, but very, obviously non-human. And it's like I said, his skin was gray. He had like a grayish, you know, I wouldn't say super dark gray, but like a light gray skin. Um, uh, and but the huge black and just huge black eyes, right? Like probably at least I don't know 5 times, 6 times the size of a human's eyes, and you know obviously just a weird skinny type face. He wasn't a big creature. He was you know from what I can remember maybe about 5'5", 6 feet, somewhere in there. Was when he jumped off the wall and he faced me. I don't remember him being that big. He was, probably like I said, maybe 5'8", something like that. He wasn't bigger than me. I don't remember him being bigger than me when he stood up. And but obviously very agile, very some type of ability to climb very well, like like the strength and dexterity and agility, in the way of a monkey or or something like that. An ability that humans don't have. Humans can't climb that well, and the way he climbed that wall wasn't normal. It was more like what would put you in a mind of a spider or a reptile, something of that insectoid or reptilian or something. And what it struck me, like I talked about this before, what struck me about this alien was that how did he end up in Walmart? In the middle of a Walmart, and no one noticed him walk in, right? And how would he have walked in? People would have panicked as soon as he walked in. But the way it looked is if he just popped up in the middle of a Walmart. And what I got, what the information download I got from the dream was that he was cloaked, and so he was basically a cloaked alien, and so they're walking among us, right? And he has some type of cloaking device that either makes him look human or makes him invisible. And he went into the Walmart just out of, I don't know, curiosity. Maybe he was buying something cloaked as a human, or maybe he was invisible, and so he just kind of slipped into the Walmart, just looking around, just checking out the humans and shit and human activity or whatever he was doing. Because I don't know what the fuck would an alien be doing in the middle of Walmart, right? So obviously he was just either he was cloaked and was just doing some reconnaissance in the Walmart, curious, or he was had a cloak that looked like a human, and he was actually getting something that he needed out of there. Like who knows? But anyway, so and what happened was his technology or his device, think the movie Predator, it failed for some reason. Now the information I got from the dream was that there was like a CME or something. But something happened and his technology failed. When the technology failed, everybody could see him. So something happened to his device, whatever he's using. They were using the cloak. He was using the cloak himself in Walmart, and when it failed, everybody could see him, and people began to panic. And that was the scenario I walked into. And so, what that leads me to believe is that I think that's going to happen very soon. There was a report, I posted it, and they talked about that yesterday, and that's what got me into thinking about this dream, and that's why I've been covering it. Because of the report that came out where they're saying that aliens are here, they're walking around among us. Well, I said this in a dream years ago. I posted this dream years ago. It's actually on my page. I believe it's on this YouTube page. And so this is not the first time I've talked about the alien from Walmart and what I think that dream meant. And because they're now talking about, they believe harvesters, they believe they are here, they're walking among us, they're in bases. That will be, I will confirm that to be 100% true. That they are here, they're walking among us, they are, figured out a way. They have technology that can camouflage themselves, or they can look like human. They have technology that can project the image to you that they're human, or they project the total invisible image, like where they it's like a watch or some type of device that they put on, and basically it makes them invisible to the human eye. And so that's the kind of situation that we're in. And what's going to happen is something is going to cause, and I think it's a CME, is going to cause their electronics to fail. Because these people, these creatures are not supernatural. They're not demons, whatever. The universe, obviously, if you look at the diversity of life on Earth, well, you have, as it's an old saying, as above, so below. As below, so above. If there is a you look at the Earth, there's probably millions of species of animals on the Earth. Why wouldn't there be millions of species in the universe of all kinds of, you know, humanoids, particularly intelligent with advanced tech, etc. Earth, if you know anything about science, you know that Earth is a young planet. It's not a Earth's not an old planet, so it wouldn't be hard for other planets and other parts of the galaxy to be older than us and people to have more advanced technology than what we have on Earth, and then come here. That's not a hard thing. You see, it's not really a hard thing when you understand quantum physics. And so these creatures are here, and um, they're talked about in the Bible. You know, they call them the Nephilim in the Bible. With some of them, some races or species are called the Nephilim, and they talk about the giants. You know, some of them are really tall, 10 feet tall, etc., stuff like that. And but this one wasn't. I've had other dreams about other aliens. Some of them very short. These were very friendly aliens. They were very short. They like to meditate, and they have orange eyes. They're about 3 feet tall, maybe 3.5 feet tall. About three. No, probably taller than that. Maybe about 4 feet. But they're very friendly, very very friendly. And they invited me to meditate with them in a dream. So I knew that if I ever saw these short aliens with orange eyes, that they would be not to be afraid because they were friendly. They would help me. Um, because I think we're gonna go into a phase where um, Earth is no longer just humans. You know, like you'll see the other species running around at a certain level, and once we start that, there's no going back, right? Once you start where you see these aliens, these creatures, these humanoids, different ones, you can't go back. You can't unsee them. So, I mean, that's the phase we're going into where you'll be able to see them. And then once that happens, then it's all bets are off. Um, Quite obviously, life will never be the same. You know, like, that's why they hide now, because it's a big show, right? Like, if an alien came out and ran through the mall, people, it would create so much of a stare. Nobody's going back to work tomorrow, right? It will upset the balance of the planet very quickly. You know, like, how you gonna go to work when you know there's aliens running around? So they, you know, they've created very fragile people by telling people, well, you're the only creatures in the universe, but you're not the only creatures on Earth, so that wouldn't make sense. But people buy that because they're stupid, right? You gotta be really stupid to think that there's millions of creatures on the Earth, but the galaxy is almost unimaginably large and old, but there's nothing else there. It's just empty space and rocks. How stupid do you have to be to believe that? Really, think about it. I mean, how stupid. If you look around, there's monkeys, octopus, whales, grasshoppers, cats, dogs, lions, birds, eagles, worms, right? There's millions of creatures all over the earth of different forms. But you think there's nothing else in the universe, nowhere else. Well, the only worm that you look down and see a worm on the ground, oh, that's the only worm in the whole goddamn universe. Really? That ain't even an advanced life form. It's just a worm. You think that there's not a worm somewhere else, a billion miles from here, in the dirt somewhere? That's what you think? Alien worm. That's impossible. All right, you're a retard. You are a brain dead retard. Somebody needs to tell you. That makes no sense, right? Like you don't even think there's a fucking worm somewhere in the dirt somewhere a billion miles from here. You think that, well, this worm right here is on Earth and then there's no other worms. Right? This fish is a fish swimming in this water. That there's no place somewhere else in the universe with water with a fish in it. Only on Earth. That's how stupid you are. You you're useless if you think that. Like that doesn't make sense. Right? Now, I'm not even saying humanoids that can build spaceships, but I'm just saying on a smaller level, it makes no sense to believe that there's not even a fucking worm somewhere, 5 billion miles from here. And my point is, if there's a worm there, then it's probably something else, more advanced. So it wouldn't make sense for you to think that. That there's a plethora of life on Earth, but there's billions of planets in the galaxies. But this is what they've convinced you of. That's how you know this is a plantation planet. And somebody is running this shit. Because you allowed somebody to teach you something so fucking dumb that only a rock would believe it. Not the rock, a rock. You see? You're the only game in town. There's nothing else anywhere. Okay, well, how big is the universe? Oh, it's almost endless. Right? We have no idea how big it is. Fucking endless. And how old is it? Way older than this section of the galaxy. It's, unimaginably old. And there's nothing else there? Nope. Just you. Just you and these fuckers around here. Running around in Walmart. Running around in Target and at the mall. You guys are it. The universe couldn't do anything else in hundreds of billions and who knows trillions of years but create Walmart and a bunch of races and a bunch of fat people and a bunch of, weirdos and some NFL teams and some corrupt politicians. This is it. This is the apex of the whole fucking, trillion year, expansion of the galaxy. It's right here on Earth. In America. In Baltimore. In California. That's it. You believe that? Really? How self-absorbed and dumb do you have to be to believe something like that? You a fucking cattle. You ain't nothing but a cat. If you that fucking dumb, you're a cattle. That's why they invisible and they running around. Cause you cattle. And they don't want to spook the fucking herd. You see? You just cattle. It would be sort of like if I got a farm and a bunch of chickens, right? I'm not gonna run through the herd, the group of chickens, the flock, smacking them with bats every day, just, upsetting the herd, the flock of chickens or whatever, right? Why would I do that? I just feed them and make sure they got everything they need and they're peaceful. And every now and then I get me some eggs. Every now and then, chicken ain't acting right or, whatever. Okay, fried chicken. But, the chickens, they don't notice. They don't notice the eggs missing and occasionally, Herman, the chicken he's missing, he went and became fried chicken. They don't notice that. Right? And so that's Earth, plantation planet, right? They don't want to upset the herd, but so that's probably what's going on here at a certain level. The reason why you got all these underground bases, these these aliens cloaking themselves and running around. But the question is, why are they talking about it now? Why now are they saying, well, there's, aliens here, they're in bases. You know, Harvard is putting out a report saying this. Why now? Right? That's the part I find interesting. But anyway, so but I'm not gonna belabor the point and make this too long. But I did want to just talk about this dream I had a few years ago, and this was a cloaked alien that I saw. This is one of them that I saw. Gray skin, black hair, kind of tall, lanky, can climb really well. Obviously has advanced tech and can camouflage themselves, predator style, or make themselves look human. Um, the other one, like I say, they were pretty friendly. You know, they were short orange eyes. But this one, he struck me as like, I don't know, if I had to take a guess, I don't know, I would guess insectoid, reptoid, something. You definitely wouldn't mistake him for a human, right? You would, when you saw it, you would be like, oh shit, an alien. Like the huge black eyes and sort of elongated nose, stuff like that. You would understand that that's not a human. Um, but they got advanced tech and they're here. That's one of them that's here. And so the Harvard report is correct. And what now that I had the dream, the Harvard report, it makes me believe that they're getting ready to disclose. You know what I mean? Like, and it may be, or even if they don't, they're preparing you for something, and or they can't hide it. Like they know that something's gonna happen, right? That there's gonna be a CME, an event, things that are gonna happen that are going to expose some of this. So they're trying to like, I guess, um, get people acclimated to what's going to happen so that they can get people like, hey, see, look, man, I told you, we were being honest with you guys, right? So come on, help me out with something or whatever, right? It's so to get you on their side, right? But there was a report, and a lot of these aliens, well, not to say a lot, some of these aliens are working with the Israeli and the U.S. government, okay? That came out in the NBC report. Now I don't know if this one that I saw, the cloak one, I would assume probably that could be possible. That group could be the group. Some of the ones that's working with the U.S. government and the Israelis. That could be possible. And or they could. They may be a separate group. You know. But I guess soon we'll find out why they're here, what they're doing. Obviously, some of it is good. Maybe well, obviously some of it is bad, and then some of it is good. Like I said, I saw bases. Uh, the base that I talked about in my last video. Um, I didn't see aliens in the base that's under New Jersey, but what I did see was I saw I saw humanoids. I saw military. So obviously they're involved. I saw military guards. I saw doctors with lab coats. I saw dinosaurs. I saw saber-toothed tigers where they were cloning these creatures. They had brought them back to life from DNA or whatever, and it was all shit that shouldn't exist, like saber-toothed tigers that were alive, dinosaurs like Jurassic Park. They had brought back, and then I also saw transhumans where they were mixing humans with animals, and I guess maybe trying to create super soldiers. I'm assuming they have like a super soldier program, and so to do that though, they're probably kidnapping people. Now that was in that NBC report. Okay, if you read that NBC report about Trump and the guy from Israel, Hayam Mashed, that was in that report. And so what I saw there were in that underground base under Jersey, where they were mixing humans and animals together, trying to build super soldiers. And I saw um, beings like part human, part animal, like in these birthing chambers or something, right? They were in these like chambers where they were growing them, or I don't know if they were, what the fuck they were doing, but they was in these chambers or whatever where they had cloned them or something like that, some biotech chambers, and where they were part. I could see that they weren't all human; they were part animal, and chimeras. I think that's what they call them. They had these chimeras, and if you notice, you'll see that in like Greek mythology, where you had the centaur and these different things, right? The half man, half bull, and all this kind of shit, right? So, but yeah, that's what I didn't. But I didn't. I don't remember seeing any aliens. But more than likely, the technology to do that kind of thing they got from aliens, or they're helping them, right, to build super soldiers, and they're mixing um, human and animal DNA to do it, which is against universal law, and that's why they're gonna be destroyed. The Lord is not dealing with that kind of thing where you mix animals and humans. So they violated universal law and they had to be stopped. Not to mention the people that they're using, they're probably experimenting on, they're kidnapping people or, taking people out the street, stuff like that, and then they're experimenting on these people, homeless people and different people, you know. And that's horrible. That's a horror story. And so this has to be stopped, you know. Um, Yeah, I mean, it has to be stopped. I mean, these are the same people that brought you slavery and every goddamn thing else, and you wonder why, right? So if they'll do that kind of thing for hundreds of years, they have no problem, obviously, experimenting on people, taking people and experimenting on them, and they did it to black people and slaves, stuff like that. So, um, yeah. So, but yeah, this is the best I can do. I'm not a great artist, but this is a representation of the creature I saw in Walmart. So anyway, but I'm gonna wrap this. I'll do some more if I think of anything relevant on on the aliens, alien stuff. I may do some more on that, but for now that's it.